Here we are with another book review. Today we will be doing Annihilation Conquest from Marvel Comics, the omnibus edition. This collects Nova 1 to 12 and annual number 1, Annihilation Conquest prologue number 1, Annihilation Conquest Star-Lord 1 to 4, Annihilation Conquest Quasar 1 to 4, Annihilation Conquest Wrath 1 to 4, or Wraith, and Annihilation Conquest 1 to 6, and Annihilation Saga. Of course, this is the sequel to Annihilation. Annihilation was a big battle with Annihilus when he sent the Annihilation Wave through the galaxy, trying to destroy everything, basically. Nova stepped in and stopped him. The Guardians, you didn't really see the Guardians, but you seen Star-Lord. Star-Lord was drastically different. He's drastically different in the beginning of this. This Conquest is where you see the beginning of the modern Guardians of the Galaxy that the Marvel movies are doing, and in the team you think of now. This is where it started from. So we'll look under the dust jacket. Before we do that, we got the flaps. Cool little flaps with Nova. Yes, I do have a damaged copy. I bought a damaged copy, but I got it for like $40. And this is the new printing, so I got it for $40 a couple of weeks after it come out. So I'm one of those that something like this, I mean, it's a pretty deep hole, but it doesn't go through the book, through the spine. So I'm not that nitpicky about it. Like, I'm perfectly fine with paying a very discounted rate like that for a little bit of damage there. But anyway, this is the front of the book, and unfortunately, that's a huge spoiler. There's your first look at the Guardians of the Galaxy, the modern Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, we will go ahead and talk about this because they've already spoiled it with the cover of the book. But what you've got is the universe is still dealing with the fallout from the Annihilation Wave. If I remember right, because it's been a while since I've read Annihilation. If I remember right, the Skrull homeworld was destroyed during the Annihilation Wave. In Annihilation Conquest, the cosmic realm of the Marvel Universe is still trying to recover. And you've got Nova is still the sole possessor of, I forget what they call it, the World Mine, which is Marvel's version of the Green Lantern Corps, I guess, with their Green Lantern rings. I mean, it's like if Hal Jordan was the only remaining Green Lantern from all the Corps. Like, Nova's got the power of the entire Nova Corps coursing through him. So the next big invasion that hits, like the first couple of issues of the book is about Nova He's running himself ragged, responding to emergency calls with people still reeling from the Annihilation wave. And he burns himself out and has to come back to Earth, where he runs into Iron Man and all them, and he falls right into the middle of the Civil War, Marvel Civil War, where each side's kind of getting him, trying to get him to take their side in it. So he gets flustered with that. He has a big fight with the Thunderbolts. He gets flustered with it all and decides Earth isn't where he wants to be anymore. So he goes back, and we go into the Annihilation prologue, and we run into the new Corsair, which is this girl. I can't even pronounce her name. And she's running around with Moondragon from the Avengers. Well, the Phalanx is what attacks next. And at this point, I don't think we had ever really seen the Phalanx before outside of the X-Men. And right there is an early. This is Star-Lord at this time. So he's not the Star-Lord that everybody knows. He will become that, but he's not there in the beginning of this. But the Phalanx first encountered the X-Men, and it never really explained where the Phalanx went. Well, the Phalanx have decided they wanted galactic control of everything. Now, these are what the Phalanx look like now. They are vastly different than the way they looked when they first appeared in X-Men. But that's part of their whole gimmick, is the adaptability to survive. So they have spread themselves out to infecting everything in the Kree space. They have built another Babel Tower. Anybody read X-Men? Phalanx Covenant is familiar with the Babel Tower. It's their main communication hub. So they've managed to get into everything, and they have sealed off the whole universe around the Kree's airspace. Basically, everything Kree related is stuck in this bubble. They can't leave, and they're just systematically assimilating everything in the Kree world, and they're going to move out from there. Like that's the way they do things, is they seal something off, they assimilate everything in there, then they move on to another system and do it there. Well, Gamora plays heavy in here. Her and Nova and Drax have a bunch to do with this. Drax is like his modern version. Drax had a big change during the beginning of Annihilation. And here he's pretty much the Drax everybody knows. Gamora's pretty much the Gamora everybody knows. Nova gets took over by the Phalanx. I mean, and most of this whole book is him having to fight the Phalanx, trying to take control of him. I mean, the first quarter of the book is him being infected by the Phalanx and being controlled by them. But then, as you get later on, he has gotten control of it, but just barely. And it's a constant conflict trying to keep the Phalanx buried. I mean, the Phalanx are just wrecking all over the galaxy. Just nobody can get in to help, and nobody can get out. So Star-Lord ends up putting together a team And that's where you get Rocket Raccoon. You get Groot. Groot is vastly different than what you're used to with Groot. One, they don't say anything about him being the sole survivor of his planet. They still address his planet X, but they say he's a prince of planet X, but they never say that he's the last survivor. So they when they first introduce him, you're assuming that there's more out there. But anyway, it goes on to Groot. You've got this guy named Bug. You got Mantis. She is a little different from what you're familiar with. And you've got Captain Universe, or the new vessel that Captain Universe is using. They launch attacks against the Phalanx. It's a back and forth battle. Groot is able to make complete sentences. He can speak just like any other character. So this isn't the Groot that walks around like the Hulk and just says, "I am Groot." Like, this is a very smart Groot. So that's kind of the story of what's going on. Is you've got these group of cosmic heroes stuck in this bubble with the Phalanx, and they introduce Wraith or Wrath or whatever his name is. He is an interesting character that they never play much on later outside of this story. You got Ronan the Accuser in here. I mean, you've got some pretty heavy characters in here. I mean, I could go on and on with it. They introduced Cosmo, the dog, in here. It's a lot to it. But Warlock shows up. You do find out that the reason the Phalanx, and this is where it hits the spoiler for the cover, the reason the Phalanx have evolved the way they have is Ultron has made it to outer space after the mighty Avengers banished him to outer space, and he took over as the leader of the Phalanx and organized them. So now they have this super intelligent, always adapting super machine in their hive mind, coordinating everything. So it's made them 600 times more dangerous than they were before. You got the High Evolutionary in here. You got Adam Warlock being reborn. I mean, there's a lot going on. You have a big, massive battle with Ultron at the end. I mean, it's just high stakes after high stakes. You have a couple of deaths in here. You've got, I mean, there's Ultron. You do get Star-Lord. Eventually, he gets messed up, and they basically fix him into the modern version of Star-Lord that you're familiar with. I mean, that's his costume. I mean, he's not quite there, but he's on his way. So once they defeat Ultron, the Guardians pretty much decide, hey, we've got a whole lot of work to fix this universe. Let's try sticking it out together. So this is basically all about the creation of the modern Guardians of the Galaxy. I never thought any stories would make me care about Nova, but the first Annihilation and this actually like the Nova character. The paper's still a little thin, but it's still thick enough. It's got nice gloss. It's put together really well. If you have not read the first Annihilation, I do recommend reading the first Annihilation before you read this. So that's my review for this. Make sure you pick this up if you're a Guardians fan, but please start with the first Annihilation Omni first. This is a direct sequel.